NBA playoffs continue this Sunday, May the 10th. Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. Two more NBA playoff games. The first game fours of round two. I'm going to break them both down for you. Knicks, 76ers, and of course Spurs, Timberwolves. Free plays analysis for Sunday NBA action coming up free right here, right now. Hi, this is Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, right back here on WagerTalk TV. And seriously, happy Mother's Day. We got some female viewers out there. And of all of you that are not female viewers, make sure you wish your mother a happy Mother's Day. And this is a nice Sunday lineup in the NBA here as we have two games, one daytime, one nighttime. We will start with the daytime game. Just a quick reminder, if you're liking these free play videos, thumbs up, click the thumbs up like, click the hype button on your mobile device, and I'll keep these plays coming free for you each and every day here on Wager Talk TV. So make sure you click subscribe, you click the bell as well, so you'll know when Monday's video is posted tomorrow here on the channel also. All right, first game is on ABC. They're reversing order. ABC's got the daytime game now on Sunday at 3:30 Eastern, New York, Philadelphia. And this series is all but over. NBA teams down 0-3 do not come back and win four straight. It's less likely in the NBA than any other sport. So Philly is done. The question becomes, are they done, or do they put up a fight here in Game 4? You know, we saw the same situation with the Rockets down 0-3 last round, and then Houston came out and won the next two games. Now the difference is that although Houston was a lower seed, they were the favorite in that series. Philly was not the favorite in this series, but this is a pretty competitive matchup still, and the point spread is saying that. Line is only -1, 1.5. Philly went from 1-3 when Embiid was in the lineup in Game 3, so this is a couple-point adjustment here based on the fact New York is in control, because historically speaking, teams down 0-3 in hockey or basketball do get swept. However, it's been a little less likely in recent years over the past couple decades, and like I said, in the last round, we saw the Rockets stave off elimination at home, and I think Philly can do the same thing here. I think Philadelphia does win this game and force a Game 5 back in New York. And while they were blown out in Game 1, they were very competitive in Game 2 the other night, and they cut it to within 4 in the second half in the eventual 14-point loss in Game 3. I think back at home still with some pride, they will show up and play here on Sunday afternoon. So I would take a look at Philadelphia plus the 1 to 1.5 as a live home dog in this game on Sunday afternoon. And of course, the big news is Embiid. He did return in Game 3 after missing Game 2. He's listed as available, so he is expected to play on Sunday. Anunoby is questionable with the hamstring. We'll see if he goes or not. You know, up 3-0, maybe they rest him more. The Villanova big three, whatever you want to call him, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson, of course, is always great. But if you're looking for someone that maybe regresses, I think it could be Mikal Bridges after the big game. What was it, 22 points, I believe, the other night in Game 3. So I think he's definitely due for some regression here. 23 points, actually, 8 for 14 shooting. Brunson was 11 for 22, but we're never looking to fade him. I'd be kind of neutral on someone like Brunson. Maybe fade Hart. He was 6 for 12, but he was 0 for 4 from 3. Bridges looks like the guy to fade here after scoring 23 points. We'll pull up his recent numbers here. Mikal Bridges, I think, probably regresses more than anybody on the New York side. His point total is around 15. His over-under is 15. Problem is, he's had 17, 18, and 23 the last three games in this series. But there again, I think he's probably due for a little regression. Philly will probably focus on him more. As far as the Philadelphia side, after the bad offensive showing, I would lean towards their team total over also. I keep waiting for New York to regress offensively. By the way, we did have an over-under best bet. I gave you a lean on the Sixers, but with the Embiid situation, I said it was kind of dicey. But I did end up using the under as a strong 4% best bet for my clients in Game 3 the other night, and it stayed well under the total. Only ended up at 202, under by 12 points. The total for this game, it was 214.5 for Game 3. It's now about 213, 213.5. Game 4s are tricky because you just never know at that team down 0-3 if they're going to come to play or not. I think Philadelphia does show up as a slight home dog, so you could look at the over 106.5 after a bad offensive showing. Philly probably due to bounce back. If they do cover this game, they're most likely going to go up and over 106.5 as far as the team total. Some Philadelphia players maybe we could spotlight here. Embiid, it's tricky. He had 17 shot attempts. It's hard to know how healthy he's going to be. Paul George had a lot of shot attempts, 18 shot attempts with Embiid in the lineup. He only hit 6 of them. He only had 15 points. I do think there's more upside for Paul George, whether Embiid plays or not. I would look at Paul George over 16.5 points. He had 19 and 17 in the other two games in this series, and he had 15 the other night. Despite shooting really poorly, still got to 15 or more in all three games. I think Paul George over 16.5 makes some sense, especially if Embiid ends up being limited. now that they're down 0-3. And Tyrese Maxey, not Tyrone Maxey. Y'all had some fun with that. I slipped and said Tyrone. When I was growing up, it was Tyrone. Now everyone's Tyrese. Ty. We'll just call him Ty Maxey. He played 44 minutes, 8 for 12 shooting, 17 points. I would expect him, if the Sixers come and keep it close or maybe force a Game 5, got to figure Tyrese Maxey will have to do some heavy lifting. He's priced around 24.5. He had 26 in Game 2 when the Sixers were competitive. That's your daytime game, 3:30 Eastern on ABC Sunday afternoon. All right, your other game is actually more of a mismatch, at least as far as the series goes, but it's a 2-1 series, and that's, of course, San Antonio at Minnesota for Game 4. 7:30 Eastern, Sunday night on NBC and Peacock. Spurs, 4.5-point favorite, totals around 218.5. Did not use anything for my clients in Game 3. I did mention in the video that I thought maybe the under was worth a look at under 217, just due to the fact the Minnesota Timberwolves do not match up offensively well in this series, and they have to keep a slow-paced game to keep it close. Well, that was not the case. The game snuck up and over the total, landing on 223 overall, 115-108 win for the Spurs. And the one thing I did point out in the video, while Minnesota fit numerous good bounce-back spots off the biggest franchise loss in postseason history, I was not in a hurry to back them just because I think the Spurs are the much better team. And the other fact that this series was 1-1 meant San Antonio was less likely to let up after the blowout win like teams often do. And that's kind of how it turned out. Minnesota kept it close early. Spurs had a 1-point lead after the first. The game was tied at halftime. Then they opened it up in the third. In fact, Minnesota was only outscored by a point in 3 of the 4 quarters. Only one quarter where they outscored by more than 1 point. So they actually played pretty competitive, but still came up short. So here again, the question is, can we trust the T-Wolves in a basic straight-up win situation at plus 4.5, plus 5? I would lean that way with Minnesota. Now that the Spurs have the 2-1 lead, back-to-back wins, maybe they let up a bit here. And I believe that was the first time in like over 7-8 games that the Spurs had won at Minnesota. Minnesota does have a strong home court, and they're still a good-sized dog here. So I would lean towards Minnesota plus the 4.5. And also, I think you probably look at the first half. Just like they kept the game close in the first half the other night, Minnesota plus 2.5 first half is probably worth a look as well. And something I forgot to point out in that Sixers game, I mentioned how teams down 0-2 back at home in Game 3 usually perform well, and that the first half is usually where they outperform. Well, the Sixers won the first quarter, lost the first half, lost the game overall, but they did cover the first quarter. So here again, you might want to shorten this one up. Take a look at the Timberwolves plus 2.5 in the first half, or even the first quarter. Timberwolves are plus 1.5. Because here again, San Antonio just the better team, and for getting only 4.5 for the game, it's going to go down to the wire. You almost kind of need the Timberwolves to be able to win the game outright. If you're going to play them at plus 4.5, you probably sprinkle some of the money line at plus 160, but I also don't mind shortening it and taking the first half at plus 2.5 overall with the Minnesota T-Wolves. And by the way, they're plus 140 on the money line in that first half. As far as the total in this game, I mentioned Game 3. I thought Minnesota had to slow things down, could not get in a run and gun, and they're going to have trouble scoring in general. That total was 217. It went over. Now it's 218.5. So I do think there's some value with the under now. It's the highest total since Game 1, which was also 218.5 and landed on 206. Minnesota scored just 102, 195, and 108 in the 3 games. So if you like Minnesota to cover, that's the way I would lean. I think it definitely correlates with the under as well. So that would get you looking at a San Antonio team total under, and Spurs' current team total is around 111.5. So Spurs team total under 111.5 is probably worth a look, especially after 2 outperformance games offensively by San Antonio. You look at the metrics in that game the other night in Game 3 on Friday, pretty even, a lot of statistical categories. Fast break points, Spurs are plus 6. Points in the paint, they were plus 8. That was really kind of the difference in the game. Minnesota did not get to the free throw line as much either. They had 12 less free throw attempts. I'd look for that to maybe even out a little bit in their second straight home game. And they only shot 38% from the field. So here again, I would lean under 218.5, lean Minnesota, and that would also get me on the Spurs team total under 111.5. If we're looking at the Spurs team total up and under 111.5, then we're going to probably look for some San Antonio players to fade. I'm never in a hurry to fade Wembanyama, although offensively, he had not done much in the first 2 games. He stayed under his point total. Then he had a breakout game in Game 3 with 39 points, 15 rebounds, and 1 assist. How crazy is that? Keep in mind, he had a triple-double in Game 1, in which he had only, 11 points, but he had more rebounds and assists, basically. He only had 1 assist in Game 3, but he had 39 points after scoring just 30 total points in Games 1 and 2 combined. He's priced around 26.5 once again. Do we dare play Wembanyama under? I think we can. He's a monster player. He does great rebounding, assists, but he doesn't always score a ton of points. In fact, the 3 previous playoff games, he had scored 19 or less in 3 straight games until the 39. So maybe we do play Wembanyama under 26.5. I even see a 27.5. Shop around. That line's anywhere 25.5 to 27.5 on Wemby's total points. As far as somebody else that maybe overachieved a little bit, Vassell, 6 for 14 for the Spurs. Devin Vassell, he was only 1 for 6, though, from three-point range. Ended up with 13. Stephon Castle could be an overplay, actually. He was just 3 for 11, and De'Aaron Fox was only 7 for 19. They only had 13 and 17 points. That's why Wemby had to do all the heavy lifting. So Wemby under, maybe Castle and Fox over could be worth a look on the San Antonio prop side. As far as Minnesota, Rudy Gobert, I mentioned how he's had some good games against the Spurs the past few years, which is so counterintuitive because Gobert usually doesn't do much. And against Wemby, you think he would do even less. But he had 7 shot attempts, made 6 of the 7, but only got to the free throw line once, still had 13 points. So Gobert maybe regresses, but he's a tricky guy to handicap. Someone I would look at here is Jaden McDaniels. We talked about him in the previous round, and I said how he underperformed the first few games of round 1. He finally had a breakout game. He was only 5 for 22 shooting on Friday night, but still finished with 17 points and still got up and over his 14.5. He's now priced at 15.5 after scoring 16, 12, and 17. But he's getting a lot of shot attempts. 22 shot attempts the other night, but he didn't shoot the ball well, which means he'll probably be open again. I doubt the Spurs are going to change anything. And keep in mind, the first few games against Denver, he struggled. Then he had a 20-point game, and then just 12 and 13. And then he had a huge 32-point game in Game 6 when DeSumo was out and Edwards is out. So obviously he got more looks there. But the big news is that McDaniels is getting shot attempts. Anthony Edwards, by the way, was back in the starting lineup after coming off the bench the 2 previous games. He played 40 minutes. He played more minutes like I thought he would. I mentioned his over for that reason, and it hit with 32 points, 12 for 26 shooting. DeSumo, by the way, played 32 minutes off the bench, was just 4 for 12. He doesn't get as many looks with Edwards in the lineup, and I don't think he's fully healthy still. So DeSumo is a guy we could look to fade with the under if he's limited, if the calf injury is not fully healed. But McDaniels over, probably worth a look. Randall maybe as well. He was only 3 for 12 shooting. But here again, I think it could be a low-scoring game. Minnesota does not match up offensively well, so it's hard for me to really get excited about too many T-Will player props over against a really good defensive team in San Antonio. That game's at 7:30 Eastern Sunday night on NBC and Peacock. There you go. A look at 2 Game 4s for you on Sunday. I'll be back with the other 2 Game 4s from Monday night, Detroit, Cleveland, Oklahoma City, LA Lakers. So make sure you click subscribe, you click the bell for an instant alert so you know when that free Monday NBA playoff video is posted. And if you're liking these free play videos, I will keep them coming every day for basketball and also baseball. I'll have some free baseball for you Monday here on the channel. So make sure you click subscribe and you click the bell for an instant alert so you'll know when the free play videos are posted each and every day in every sport here on WagerTalk TV. And as you know, I read the comments. I reply back. I love the support. Drop your comments below. Do you want more free play videos? Do you want some baseball videos? Let me know. And also let me know your thoughts on these 2 games for Sunday. Sides, total, player props. How are you attacking Knicks, Sixers, and Spurs T-Wolves Game 4s on this Mother's Day Sunday? Hey, wish your mother a happy Mother's Day. Wouldn't that be a nice thing to do? Because I'm sure mom is watching the channel. All mothers love WagerTalk TV. Maybe a great Mom's Day story. Or something maybe sports related, right? Take you to Little League practice. Did they coach one of your teams? I love the story. I love when moms coach. They're the best coaches. Hey, were they great team moms? That's also important, right? Orange wedges at halftime. Capri Suns. Are you as old as me? You remember Capri Suns? You always got excited when the team mom brought Capri Suns. I'm old school, man. We were in the 80s. Literally, like my parents, we brought Sprite and like Coca-Cola cans. Parents don't do that anymore. They get Gatorades. Gatorade was a luxury in the 80s. Drop it in the comments below. I do truly read the comments. I reply back. And let me know your thoughts also on the games, sides, total, player props you like. Include some analysis if you have time so we can all learn and earn and win together here on WagerTalk TV. Mother's Day comments, though, are much appreciated. I think that's a good comment section today. I'm going to have to read those and reply back. Now, look, when I'm giving you free plays analysis on all these sides, total, player props on almost every game this postseason, a lot of these are light leans only. I'm trying to give you as much inside opinions as I can, but a lot of them are light 1% TV leans. 1% of bankroll would be appropriate. But some of them do make my best bet service, and those are my personal best bets. The same plays that go to my clients every day at WagerTalk.com, and those are powerful 4% rated plays, and that's how you build your bankroll and have an edge long term. Get my Sunday best bets right now. Sides, totals, baseball, basketball, NBA, MLB, and save big with some special offers. Now, one play is $25, one day all access is $39, or you can get 3 days for $49. That's right, second and third day for just $10 more. It's a 3-day sampler because I want new members, those of you that are new, building your bankroll, new to WagerTalk, to try me out. Or if you've tried me out and you want to get a longer-term package, the 30 days are a great access one, a great starting point to a longer-term subscription. The All Sport All Access 30-day instant $100 discount right now gets it down to $199, and I'm throwing in 10 more days for free. A 7-day and a 3-day pass included for free. So not only are you getting an instant $100 discount on the 30-day, but you're getting 10 more days for free. So it's 40 days with a $100 discount. Wow, $199 complete. Or the 1-year all access. If you built that bankroll, if you have multiple sports books, if you're serious about taking a true professional investment approach on a consistent basis, the 1-year package is a no-brainer for several reasons. First of all, instant $800 discount right now gets it down to $99 a month, $3 a day, about $1 a play. Lowest possible price. That saves you up to 96% off the daily rate. Also, it ensures you get every play every day, so you never miss a selection. All sports, all access. It's self-explanatory. If I'm using a game, I send it out to all my clients. I hit send. It is emailed instantly to everybody that is posted on WagerTalk at the same time. I average maybe 2 to 3 best bets per day, sometimes more. We had 7 best bets this past Saturday. If I see value, I use it. If I see no value, I pass. 1 play a day, 2 or 3 plays. If I'm using something, my clients get it. And by the way, it doesn't matter if you get a 1 day, a 3 day, a 1 week, a 1 month, or the 1 year. Everyone's getting the same plays, just different price points and cost of entry. And obviously the bigger packages cost a little more, but they actually save you more because the price per play, the price per day gets much lower. And with the 1-year all access, it's the lowest possible price because it's about $1 a play. And you're going to get all of next year's college football and pro football season, start to finish. All of next year's NBA season into the playoffs, including the rest of this year's playoffs. All of next year's college basketball season, start to finish. The rest of this year's baseball and a couple months of baseball next year. Great time to lock in a 1 year, especially with that special $800 instant discount. Look, no promo codes needed. All the special offers are on my page right now. You don't have to memorize them. Figure out which one works best for you. Everyone's getting the same plays, my personal best bets. It's always been that way since I started 30 years ago. August of 1996. This will be my 30th anniversary coming up in a few months, and it's always been the same. If I have a play, every client gets it, and get my strong best bets for Sunday basketball and baseball, and a bonus free play. I buried the lead. The best part of it all is even if you're building your bankroll, you're new to sports betting, go get the free play every day if you're doing your own handicapping. It is the last cut from my best bet card. Just a bit outside. And I'm selective, so that last cut is a pretty strong opinion. Make sure you don't miss it. I would treat that one as maybe a 2% of bankroll. So go get Sunday's free play. Get the strong best bets. Check out the special offers. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. And, of course, get there quicker with shortcut wt.buzz/SM. Thumbs up, like, hype on your mobile device. Comment below. Click subscribe. Click the bell for instant alerts. And you'll never miss out here on WagerTalk TV. And don't forget, you can follow me on social media for updates and free plays and links to the videos as well on X and Instagram at Steve Merril, 2 R's, 1 L. You know the deal. Merril at Steve Merril on X and Instagram. And stay tuned here to WagerTalk TV because you also know there's more free play videos coming up next.